SexyHackers.com.
Sexy Hackers Clothing presents a podcast where anything can happen, so long as somebody wrote it down in a book. Warning! Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures you may have when a space vampire invades the solar system. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make decisions and choices. Your choices may lead to success or disaster. The adventures you have will be the result of your own choices. After you make a choice, follow the instructions to see what happens to you next. Caution: the space vampire has extraordinary powers and a terrifying appetite. Good luck.
SexyHackers.com.
Life is like a story with many paths to choose. I gotta get some good friends to help me make it through. So here's the plan, just take my hand, the adventure's just begun. And all we have to do is turn to page fun.
And welcome to Turn the Page Fun! Woo! The only podcast where I, your host, Nick Vera, read through a bunch of Choose Your Own Adventure and other like game books with a bunch of my very, very funny friends and review and comment on them. An idea that is so good, I immediately stole it from my partner and froze her out of the production process. This week, we are returning to a Space Vampire, written by Edward Packard, copyright Bantam Books, 1987. And with me, again, all the way over on my far, far left, I have a musician, writer, comedian, Mr. Brian Baird.
Hello.
Yay, Brian.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little unsettled because I saw the picture that you just turned to at the very beginning of this book.
Oh, the picture of the space vampire?
A straight up picture of the space vampire.
Oh yeah, he's got big eyes.
It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah. There's a
he's get a picture of that up.
He is losing his hair.
Yes, he is. Unfortunate.
He's got sharp teeth everywhere, not just his fangs.
And big creepy eyes, and
he's got big baby Yoda eyes.
I bet you that one's big enough if you held it up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Can we see
Maybe.
it? Yeah, there
From
it
there,
is.
he
looks
From
very
there,
surprised.
too.
Yeah, like
Yes.
someone just told him some very
bad
surprising news.
Like that he's been demoted for making one poor hypothetical decision.
Yes. So I'm good, except for now I'm
that.
got to deal with that in my brain. Yeah.
How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I'd say not too much going on, but
How's the new year treating you?
it's great. Everything's been going great, and I'm super. Everything's looking up. Yep, because it's definitely the new year.
Yep,
right
sure
now.
is. Right now,
Sure
okay.
is.
Then moving over to my direct left, I have mad scientist, English tutor, comedian, actress, and meanest person I know, Miss
Yeah, that's
Stacy
me.
Pawloski.
Yay, thanks, Nick.
Deceiver of cats.
Deceiver of cats.
Yep, last time we were talking about how I manipulated my cats with emotions.
Yeah, with emotions. People think that cats don't have emotions, but they do, and they're
Oh,
easily
they sure
manipulated.
do. They're kind of assholes. They're little dicks.
How old are your cats now?
Not a year.
Not
Not
a-
even at when this real January date today is.
Yeah,
They're, I think, 8 months or 9 months. They're pretty
Okay.
little still.
yeah.
They're like teenagers.
Oh man,
Teen cats.
Teen cats.
yeah. They
That's
just
got to be a turn of page fun called Teen Cats.
teen cats.
Teen Cat Force.
Remember what was this? What
SWAT
was the
cats?
jet cats?
Oh, I know there was SWAT.
It's SWAT cats.
cats,
Yeah, where
yeah.
they were in a
that's
jet.
okay. They're also samurai pizza cats.
Right.
One of my cats is named Daniel Jackson, so he's definitely down for space travel.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we should have brought him along. All right. And then finally, over on my right, I have a comedian, writer, and blog person. Mr. Mr. Ron Swanson.
Hello.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Good. How are you?
How's your week been?
It's been okay.
Okay. All right.
Just work.
Just work.
Work stuff.
Yep. Getting back in the groove of the new year after the whole holiday season. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, currently we are reading we are reading Space Vampire by Edward Packard. In this book, you play a character codenamed Osprey.
That's part of your code name now.
Yes,
Get a little
codenamed
speaker.
Osprey. For those of you who didn't grow up with zoo books like Brian did,
Yes.
An osprey is a small fish-eating raptor.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Is it a falcon? Is it an eagle? Is it its own
like
thing?
I think it's it's a raptor. I think you said it's like
So an osprey is like its own thing.
a hunting bird.
It's like the David Pumpkins of raptors.
yeah, it's like a cousin to hawks and eagles.
Okay.
And kites and
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Its own
it's its own thing now.
Yeah. You are codenamed Osprey, and you were graduated at the very top of your class, giving you the elite status.
Elite. Oh.
And your dean of students gave you an opportunity to hunt down a space vampire.
I love how our status is basically just like the best car wash you could get.
Elite.
You look at it as like, should I pay that extra $3.99 for this
Undercoating? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can have the regular, the silver, the gold,
Or the elite.
Ooh, ooh.
Now rebuffs vampires. Ooh.
I get the free sponge hanging on the side of the, of the pump.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
So after we decided to not take that mission and go try to colonize a planet, that mission went horribly wrong.
Oh, did it ever?
Because there was there was a
vampire?
space vampire on our own ship.
Yeah. A different one.
And
maybe.
that space vampire took over our ship, and we tried to get away from it, but we couldn't.
Nope. He outsmarted us.
Right. So then we decided that we were going to go with the mission, and our commander,
Fucking guy. I'm still mad about it.
yeah, was it
Been a
Ric
week.
Flair? No, it wasn't Ric Flair.
Where?
What'd you do? It was.
If we go back to that mission, it will be now.
It will be now.
Rick Fields or something?
Rick Fields.
Rick
It was
Fields.
Captain Rick Fields.
Rick Springfield. Middle name Spring.
Ric Flair Springfield.
I was at Jesse's girl. Woo! I can't do a Ric Flair impersonation.
It's okay. All right. So he was-
gave us the choice to fight off some aliens that were attacking us or run away, and we said that we should fight them. And then he was like, "Oh, wrong decision. You're off the mission."
Also, he was low-key xenophobic. too.
Right. Yes.
So remember that.
He's
We
said-
factor that into our
Space
decision.
vampires aren't like your common aliens.
Common alien.
Yeah.
So it's a
So now we find ourselves on a backwoods space base.
space.
But on this backwoods space base is the prototype K1 ship that we know how to fly because we trained on it in academy. And so we decided that we were going to screw the rules and steal it and try to get back on this mission.
Yeah.
We're loose
shit.
cannons. Loose space cannons who play by their own
Because
rules.
wolves gotta hunt, fish gotta swim, ospreys gotta fly.
Nice. Sounds good.
Well, that's a tagline on the poster.
On the poster.
Yes, on the poster of the movie,
Just you like
Space Vampire, coming out this fall by Sony Pictures.
probably. Yeah.
The Osprey's gotta fly.
All right. Sophisticated as the K1 is, its beautifully designed servo computer makes the ship relatively easy to fly, at least for someone who has mastered its technical aspects.
Humble brag.
After a few moments, you are able to remember the code sequence that brings the ship under your control.
It's 8675309.
It's very close to that, actually.
Man,
It really is. Glancing through the canopy, you notice that the workmen are staring at you. It's beginning to dawn on them that you have no business sitting at the controls of the most advanced fighter in the solar system.
Wait a minute.
Should he be here?
That there's no security for either, apparently.
Suddenly, one of them is running toward a control panel. You know that in a moment, a heavy steel door will crash shut, and an iron force field, an ion force field will surround you. An iron force field? That's just an
Like a
iron
bowl.
dome.
You're in a cage.
Just a wall.
You can't touch me, I'm in an iron force field. Are you okay there? Bong, bong, bong.
I saw Iron Force Field live. They were great.
Nice. Shelly.
You know that in a moment, a heavy steel door will crash shut and an ion force field will surround your craft. 683381R. You punch in the emergency takeoff code. 683381R. All right. Microseconds after you hit the last key, the K1 leaps forward. You're out of the hangar. The craft is tilting into a launch aspect. You hear a siren. The guard robots are in the air.
Oh no.
What's wrong? Why isn't the computer launching your craft? There they are. Guard craft swooping towards you. Then you remember. You must press the confirm launch key.
Ugh.
But where is it? There.
I hope the launch key also activates the Highway to the Danger Zone theme song playing. Revving up their engines. Listen to their howling roar.
Instantly, you feel a tremendous acceleration of the K1 lifting off. You black out.
Damn.
Only because you've been drinking heavily this entire time. What did I? Oh shit! I stole the K1.
Oh man, what a night!
Dude, where's my K1?
Where are my pants?
You're like Nick Nolte.
You are now Nick Nolte.
I have spoken.
By the optical distortion of nearby constellations, you can tell you're traveling at meta speed. You don't know whether you were pursued by attack craft, but you're not worried. They couldn't come close to catching the K1.
And if they did, try spinning. That's a good move.
That's a good. Should I do? No, we're not
No.
guilty.
No.
Computer, you command.
No one.
No,
will
we're not going to
understand
do that because you won't be able to understand what I say.
We're like young Nick Nolte.
Don't.
I don't know what that would sound. Just be yes.
All right. Computer, display basic data, you command.
Computer, you're basic.
The following information appears instantly on the screen. Course 482216. Speed C divide sign -5.
I think it's the absolute value.
Absolute value -5. Fuel reserve 3 days.
Oh, get some good fuel economy on this K1.
At your command, the computer locates the Petya.
Oh yeah.
Set intersect course, you command. You wonder if the Space Force command will guess your intentions and try to intercept you. No matter. The K1 can evade any attack force. At least that's what the flight manual says.
Where does it say that in the manual?
This ship is the best.
Well, the ship says that it's the best ship out there.
I like how they sent you on this mission. They're like, we've got to stop him from getting to that ship and taking on that space vampire, like we ordered him to do.
Well, he's not allowed to anymore
right,
because
'cause
he's
he-
not elite because he made one bad hypothetical decision.
Yes,
Yep, that's
yes.
life, man.
That's live.
That's how it goes.
Oh, that's how it goes. All right. After preparing a meal from the craft's kitchen,
Wait, how big is this? I thought this was like a fighter.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
me
got a
too.
Food synthesizer. It's
kitchenera.
kitchenetta.
Kitchenera.
Kitchenetta.
I thought this was like an
After
X-wing
preparing a
fighter.
meal from the craft's kitchenera, you ask the computer to advise you on how to fight a space vampire.
Computers, the vampire's natural enemy.
And then you ask the computer, why do you have trouble getting a date?
You still have that garlic in your pocket?
Yes,
to
you still, yeah.
spice up your
foolishly
kitchenera?
used it in the
3 weeks
kitchen.
ago.
Yeah, it's still in there.
Smell like garlic. This is all I have left in my mission.
The search takes several minutes. Finally, the answer appears on the screen. Space vampires. These creatures can be killed only by sunlight stronger than that at midday on Mars. Weapons are useless against them. The only way they can be captured is with a M30 force field generator, FFG. Approach a space vampire with extreme caution and preferably with at least one backup. They have almost superhuman strength. They are extremely clever and persuasive. You check your equipment inventory. There are 2 M30 FFGs aboard.
Well, we're set.
What a spacecraft.
It was it equipped specifically to fight vampires?
Did he really say what a spacecraft?
What a spacecraft.
What a spacecraft.
Just shaped like a cross, like the anti-vampire ship.
But maybe you should contact your friend Steve.
What the hell?
Steve?
Always a Steve.
It's your friend Steve, who's stationed at Delta Base, and try to get him to back you up. If you proceed directly to intercept the Petya, turn to page 6. If you try to get Steve to join you as backup, turn to page 35.
I think we better get Steve.
Codename Steve.
Codename Steve.
Hey. That's just, we get the Osprey screen.
Codename
He just
Osprey.
gets
Codename Steve.
well, because didn't we have a way back in Worst Day of Your Life, we had a best friend Steve.
And an Uncle Steve.
And there was an Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you always have a best friend. I wonder if Edward Packard has a
Just
good
like-
friend named Steve.
he might.
There's
Maybe
always a
Edward
Steve.
Packard had a friend named Steve who died tragically when he was young, and so
By
he honors
space
him.
vampires.
Space vampires. So he honored him
Oh.
in every Choose Your Own Adventure book by including Steve.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Or Steve is
That's
like
my headcanon.
Steve is like the John, what's his name? John Ratzenberger of the Pixar.
Of Pixar?
Yeah.
Who just shows up in every book.
It's Steve.
Let's get Steve.
Let's get Steve on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
you
we're
don't
all-
think we're
all
going to
in
get in
on
trouble?
Because
Steve.
with-
apparently we have time to kill.
Well, the computer said you always should bring a backup, and there are 2 of
But
those.
didn't you
force
just
fields.
escape?
Right.
Delta
Isn't Steve
base?
going to be like, what the hell, dude?
I don't think it's the same because you've
Okay.
been traveling. I
I
don't
can't
think you're
cover
going
for
back.
you anymore.
Yeah.
We realize like everyone is going to be dead on this ship by the time we get there. Right?
Oh, sure.
It's just going to be an empty ship with a space vampire and
Right.
tons of bodies.
Yeah.
Steve's going to be hiding in the laser cannon or whatever.
And as they shoot the laser cannon, you shoot Steve in the space. Damn you! Steve!
Oh, Steve.
Steve Holt!
All right, so we're gonna double back
Call in Steve.
and get in some big guns in and calling in Steve.
Steve is the
Steve
big
Big Gun Steve. Steve Big Gun Steverson.
Steverson.
Son of
All right, so we'll find out what happens when we get our friend Steve involved right after this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
Today's episode of Turn to Page Fun is brought to you by the K-1, the United Planet's brand new spacecraft, the K-1, an elite ship for an elite class of soldier. That's right, the K-1 is the fastest, most maneuverable ship in the galaxy, gliding through space with ease. And that's not all. It can outmaneuver any craft, and even comes with a functional kitchenera. And should you need to be fighting vampires for some reason, the onboard computer comes with a very good Wikipedia entry on fighting space vampires. But don't take our word for it. Just listen to our customer reviews.
Wow, this is just a sexy ship. I could see myself picking up groceries in this or just go killing space vampires.
That's right.
Yeah, I just flew the K-1, and I was worried about not just space vampires, but space Frankensteins and space werewolves, and they had entries on how to defeat every single one of them.
As a space vampire myself, I appreciate the how to kill humans feature that comes along with the A1 as well, K1.
That's right. It's perfect for humans and space vampires alike. So try it today. K1, what a ship.
SexyHackers.com.
And we're back.
That was hard to get through that one.
To turn the page front, we are back from that very real commercial.
That copy is just tough to get through sometimes.
We took a lot of time to record.
That's all right. The money's great from the United Planets.
Right?
We are currently reading Space Vampire by Edward Packard. We have been kicked off of a fighting space vampire mission, but then we just decided to steal a top secret jet fighter that has everything, the K1.
I'm going to hype out with that.
And
Hype out.
And so then we took a Wikipedia entry. We asked our Alexa how to kill space vampires, and she suggested that we needed a friend to do it.
Right.
So we decided to go back and pick up our friend Steve.
Codename Steve.
To help us kill these space vampires. You slide into orbit around T443, a useless asteroid not far from the Delta base,
Judgy.
where Steve Winters is stationed.
On the asteroid?
I don't know, maybe Delta base. I think Delta base is where he's
Useless asteroid. What a piece of shit asteroid.
A piece of shit.
Steve was one of the top pilots in your class. He just missed getting an elite rating himself. The two of you vowed to keep in touch and even developed a secret code so you could communicate with each other without being overheard by SF intelligence.
All this while, we're working in this nightmarish police state. Bad enough we got space vampires. We're also in like 1984.
Yeah, right.
You beam Steve a message explaining the situation and ask him to meet you at Point Alpha, 300,000 kilometers from asteroid M33.
Sorry, just this basic. Hey, Steve, we got space vampires, so if you want to come help me with that. No other.
The message back is a ... and then a what?
All he does is just message read. Doesn't reply.
Look,
I know you read it, all right? Come on, Steve.
Oh, God.
Within minutes, he radios back. I'm sick of patrol duty. I want action. Wait for me at Point Alpha. 3 hours later, you break out of hyperspace and decelerate as you approach Point Alpha. Ahead of you are 6 Space Force attack ships.
Can we just point out how easily Steve was convinced to go AWOL?
Yeah, I think he just called the Space Force and it's like, this idiot
Yeah,
that stole
you think
the
he
thing is
betrayed
on
us?
his way. Yeah.
We'll see.
Surrender at once. The voice message, confirmed by your computer as an official Space Force command, drowns out every other sound. You know Steve would never betray you. The SF intelligence must have cracked your code. Now you're up against it. You have the hottest spacecraft in the solar system.
The hottest.
But you seem completely boxed in.
Fly up.
You surrender. Turn to page 43. Up, you say. You try to escape. Turn to page 27. If you think of something else to do, turn to page 71.
Yes, I would like to remind everyone that space is 3-dimensional, and it is very hard to box someone in space.
Well, if there's 6 of you, then you could do the Stargate rules where there's one on each side of your
Each
box.
axis,
Yeah.
I guess, but boxing in just makes me think of they're thinking very conventionally. What was the second choice we had?
You can try to escape. You
Okay.
can surrender, or you can think of something else to do.
I was like, think of something else because I want to know
Are
what
we
it
going to
is.
fight him
I
or?
know what it is.
There's something else.
Oh, well, last time we went to fight someone, it got us in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That's what got us here.
We
in
don't
the
want
first
to
place.
kill these innocent goons of the Space Force.
I guess it's something else.
Are we
Yeah.
gonna go with something else to do?
Yeah, I'm curious
Here's
to see
what the else is.
something else is.
All right, you're gonna ask Alexa what to do.
Hey, Alexa, how do I get out of being boxed in space?
Quick, get my space mustache. Oh, yes, it is not me. It is someone else.
There's only one thing you can think of: a ploy that's about as wild as trying to cross the ocean on a windsurfer.
Never tell me the odds.
You bolt on your spacesuit and
Bolt
grab
it on.
Ouch!
Did I activate Alexa?
Yes,
Oh no! We activated Alexa again.
our personal computer assistants in this office. She likes to show
But anyway,
up.
Alexa,
So-
about the space vampires?
Yeah, Alexa, tell me about space vampires.
That's so funny.
Gotta be cautious about her.
We gotta stop doing that.
She was listening, yeah.
She's
listening.
always
With
listening.
the Space Force.
All right.
So we bolted on our space
You
suit.
bolt on your spacesuit and grab an emergency pack. You have 1 minute to surrender. The commander's voice sounds in your ears. You punch in a 10-second delay, order the K1 to blast into hyper mode, and hit the emergency ejection switch. G-forces black you out.
We're also giving up this awesome ship we stole?
Then you're aware of tumbling in space. You can see the K1 trembling, trapped in a force field.
Oh, okay.
The Space Force attack
She's
ships
scared.
close in on it, but no one sees you drifting through space. With a fully equipped Mark III spacesuit, you can survive for at least 7 days before oxygen and water are exhausted.
That's impressive.
And your jetpack can take you 6 million miles in that time.
Okay.
But the odds against you reaching a planet or a space station are, well, astronomical.
I believe I requested that you never tell me the odds.
You do know of something close by. The transport ship, Petya, should be passing nearby within hours. You
So this was really convenient there.
Yeah, why didn't you just tell Mark to meet you on the ship?
Well, you're
Steve.
at Point Alpha. Steve.
Steve, yes. Sorry. Mark. Yes.
You train your pocket scope at the thousands of points of light along the west axis of the sun. Most of them are stars, but one of them, showing strong relative motion, is asteroid M33. There's a faint dot of light near it. Could it be the Petya in synchronous orbit around the asteroid? You've little doubt the vampire has taken control of the ship. He may have decided to hide it there after spotting the Space Force fleet. Neither the asteroid nor the vampire ship are appealing destinations, but you've nowhere else to go. You jet toward M33, flying on hope.
Oh. Yeah, this.
Hope and a prayer.
I'm very. I don't know how the propulsion system of this spacesuit works, but it. Just the physics seem a little wonky. But hey, we're in space with vampires.
2 days
so-
go by and the Petya left.
And you have gone 3 miles.
2 days have passed.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, yep.
Alone in a spacesuit with a jetpack on your back, traveling at 2,200 miles per hour.
Everybody's smiling at
That
me.
sounds like an autobiography.
Don't know what this is.
Ground control to Major Osprey.
You feel as if you're absolutely motionless. Even with all your training, you're not prepared for the eeriness, the loneliness, and the stark, strange beauty of drifting alone in space. You sleep, you dream, you sip vitamin-enriched orange-flavored water.
Well, he got orange.
Tang.
Tang.
Getting some of that tag. Yes.
And every few hours, you take a bearing on M33. 3 days have passed. Everything is the same, except you're feeling weaker from a lack of solid food. 5 days. The asteroid is growing brighter. Through the K-star scope, you can make out its potato-like shape. Then your heart skips a beat.
Because you thought about a potato.
The tiny light next to it has taken on an elongated shape. It's almost certainly the Petya.
I'm amazed it's remained there for 5 days.
Well, these vampires are crafty.
7 days.
7 days now.
Your food supply is almost gone. And more important, so is your oxygen supply.
Yeah, that's a bit more important.
But there's only a slight chance there's the galactic patrol station on M33. Yet, if you board the Petya, you could be walking into the arms and teeth of the space vampire.
We forgot the shield guns.
Did we grab our M, whatever they were?
No, you're just in your M33 spacesuit now.
Oh, we're dumb.
And a garlic?
You jet toward asteroid M33. Turn to page 21. If you jet toward the Petya, turn to page 40.
There's definitely vampires on M33.
Oh, yeah? You think?
I think so. Yeah.
I would just rather go to
Steve's
the
dead.
ship because at
Go to the
least
ship.
there's air in the ship. And if there's no station on M33, we're just going to suffocate.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound fun to me.
Yeah. I wonder how Steve's doing.
I'm very anti suffocation, lack of oxygen. That's my stance.
Bold
works for me.
stance there,
Hot
Brian.
take.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna head towards the station then.
Yes.
What's the point of landing on an asteroid? You think? You'd probably die of oxygen starvation. Even if you were rescued, you'd have to face a long prison term. No. The only chance of saving yourself is to find and conquer the space vampire.
Yeah. Just pin him down and establish your dominance over the space vampire.
You land gently against the Petya, a 200-foot-long cigar-shaped transport ship.
It's only 200 feet long.
200 yards or feet?
200 feet.
Okay.
It's a very small ship.
Yep. You open the hatch with a laser torch, even though you know you might trigger the internal security alarm.
They're not that effective, apparently.
Hold on, I want to go back to the size of the pit ship real quick. It's 200 feet long.
Yeah, sure.
And supposedly there are people dying daily.
yeah.
So how tightly...
Sure.
Is this a slave ship?
It might be yes.
Could be.
How tightly packed are there
I
people
don't-
in the pit ship?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Oh.
It's to head on into the
Smaller
picture.
than like a studio apartment.
Or they're like in
well.
stasis pads or pods or something. They're all like packed in.
Yeah. But yeah, it is pretty
if they're
small.
like in a circle, like a like if it's a cylinder.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. I don't want to think about this being a slave.
Yeah. We're just wondering why they have people packed in there like a sardine can.
Maybe they're just workers. Oh wait, slaves.
But it's that small. How can like the vampire hide?
Hey,
you
that's
can
how
turn
they know
around
it's
and
a
go.
vampire. You're like, oh man, the vampire's across the room. Well, there's 30 people in the way.
And then you get to
He
do
won't
like
get to me for about a month.
He's got to take a nap after every person he eats, so I'm fine.
and plus there's zero gravity, so he's got to like swim around like I'm coming to get you.
Coming to you. Ah, this vampire's taking forever. Hey guys, there's a vampire on the ship. He's right over there.
We got a while.
Got a minute.
Also, it says it's cigar shaped, but I'm imagining the ship is coffin shaped.
Whoa.
You float in and shut the hatch behind you. You're now in an airlock. When the pressure equalizes, you'll be able to enter the ship itself. The airflow ceases, and you open the interior door and make your way along the well-lighted corridor. You read the signs on various doors. Main computers, internal guidance, escape capsule,
No
Vending
vampires.
machines.
No vampire in here. Hastily scrawled.
ice machine. You stop. You'd better examine the escape capsule. You might need it. You open the door, pull out your mini light, and grope your way toward the capsule. Wow. Maybe you should ask before you
Did
just...
they have to describe it as grope your
This
way?
is a living ship, after all.
Just say, you felt your way to the or some other description.
Yeah, it's 1987. It's a different
gross.
time. Everything was groped in the 80s.
Yeah.
After affirming confirmed consent, you grope your way.
You caress once you get consent.
You heavy pet your way.
Jeez. Ay, ay, ay.
More gross ways to get around a room.
That's ways to get around a room.
All right. You grope your way toward the capsule. A pear-shaped vehicle about the size of a sports car. Suddenly, a force presses against your shoulder. A teenage girl is holding a knife to your throat.
So, also in this 200-foot ship, we have a escape capsule the size of a sports car.
Yep.
Just one, probably. I
Oh my
imagine.
gosh, there's no room in this ship to do anything.
Well, that's why they couldn't get away from the space vampire.
Yeah.
Wait, you cry. The girl pulls back. You're not a vampire. I thought everyone else was dead. I don't know how else to
I
do
like
it.
that.
It's like, oh my God. I came from space.
Came from space. We all came from space.
You say, I'm with the Space Force, searching for the vampire, but I had to abandon my craft. The girl flashes a light in your face. You let her look at you for a few moments, realizing that your story is not an easy one to believe. She places her mouth almost to your ear. We must be very quiet. He may already have heard us. My name is Laurie. What's yours?
Are you
It's like there's a little bit of lumpy space princess.
That's exactly.
Oh my god, fine. Oh my god.
Call me Osprey. You answer.
Call me Osprey.
Where are the other colonists? All dead, I believe. Laurie answers. I've seen him stuff bodies into a waste tube and blast them into space.
Oh.
I'm the only one who's been able to keep out of sight.
In a 200-foot spaceship.
The dimension of this ship are really throwing us off.
Because it's so small.
Well, 200 feet, that's, I don't know.
It's not that big.
All right.
It's not.
It really isn't.
Unless it has like multiple
Like,
levels.
There's lake freighters much larger than 200 feet.
True.
Where's the vampire? Tell me all you know about him, you say. Laurie rests a hand on your shoulder as if to reassure you. He looks like an ordinary man, except he is very powerful looking. His skin is white as milk. His hair is black and shiny and looks as if it is made of metal wires, and his mouth is cruel.
So not
that
like
doesn't
a
sound like
regular
a
man.
normal person at all.
His lips have a rubbery look. You might almost think he was a human until he laughs, and you look at his face.
You might think he's human. Let's just look at any aspect of him as a person.
Also, his eyes are big and creepy.
Until you see his long, curved teeth, like a wolf's.
Like what?
A wolf's.
A wolf's.
Laurie buries her head in her hands for a moment.
Oh, she's gone through a rough time here.
Going through a rough
Yeah.
time. I have. You open the hatch of the escape capsule and peer inside. Have you tried to escape in this capsule, you ask? It looks as if you're ready to fly. She shakes her head. I know where the control lock is, but I haven't dared go near it. I'm afraid he'll be waiting for me. Laurie, you lay your hand on her arm. We've got to think fast. Your new friend bites her lip. She nods and smiles a little. What does the vampire plan to do now that he's killed everyone? Suddenly, you feel a presence in the chamber. I plan to make you vampires! A deep, hollow voice fills the room.
Go for it.
A pale, metallic light comes on, a weak and pale as waning moon. Blocking the exit is a large, square-shouldered man dressed in the uniform of a Space Force commander. His face is deathly white. His mouth is stretched into a malevolent smile. His upper lip bulges where his teeth pressed against it. And you see those teeth, curved like the blade of a scimitar, as a horrible laugh escapes his lips. Laurie,
That is a horrible laugh.
Laurie gasps. She huddles behind you as you desperately try to think of what to do.
And shoves you towards the vampire.
If you push Laurie into the escape capsule, jump in behind her and try to blast your way through the emergency hatch. Turn to page 42. If you face the vampire and try to outwit him, turn to page 32.
Well, we already know we're pretty dumb and can't outwit a space vampire.
Well, because that never happened.
That never happened,
We don't know. Yeah. You want to run from? I mean, I'm kind of.
Let's take him on because
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
whole point. Was we came here to find
And
him.
again, the worst thing that happens if he turns us into vampires, which, I mean, is it that bad?
Apparently, we'll
Immortal?
be really powerful.
Really powerful. You get to be on. Get to see Planet Akbar like we always wanted.
right.
Planet 5.
Drink some delicious human blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we take him on. That's why we came here. We
Yeah,
didn't come
that's why
here
we
to
came.
run away.
Do it.
So
Otherwise, we're gonna get put in jail.
we're gonna find out what happens when we fight the space vampire with our new best friend, the teenager Laurie. Right
She
after
kind of looks like a vampire too. I just want to point out in that picture.
Oh,
yeah,
She very much looks like a vampire.
she does. After this quick word from our sponsors.
SexyHackers.com.
This episode of Turn to Page Fun brought to you by Orange Flavored Vitamin Water. That's right, Orange Flavored Vitamin Water. Just the right kind of water to keep you alive for a week. It's not Tang, but it's still gross. Orange Flavored Vitamin Water. Try yours for about a week in a spacesuit so you don't die. Orange flavored vitamin water. We didn't pay for a tagline.
SexyHackers.com.
And in fairness, they don't have a brand name either. So
We are back to Turn the Page Fun. So we have entered the Petya, which is a remarkably small transport ship to be hiding anything. It's cigar shaped and it's 200 feet long.
did they ever say what exactly it's doing?
It's transporting things.
That's all it is. A
People?
transport.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
remember. I don't
transporting
remember what
people
it said.
from point A to point B.
Part of that space
Oh, that's
is
why
gotta-
we assumed it was a cruise ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got on board and we met our friend Laura, who is a teenage girl, very accurately voiced by me.
Laurie or Laura?
It's Laurie. And then while we're trying to figure out what's going on, the space vampire shows up. And so we've decided that we are going to try to confront and outwit the space vampire.
Right.
The vampire steps closer. Don't harm us and we'll help you, you say, stalling for time.
Well, we immediately cowered out.
Well, I mean, he's a space vampire.
The Space Force is on its way. They'll blow you into atoms. The vampire laughs cruelly. Of course I want you to help me. That is why I let you come on board the ship. And you shall help me by becoming vampires yourselves.
Again, I'm good with this.
You cup your hand around Laurie's ear. Can he really do that?
I can hear you.
Standing right in front of you.
This ship is only 200 feet long.
We're literally in the same room. Why are you even covering your mouth?
Laurie is shivering with fear. He can do it, she says. He'll suck out half your blood and inject half of his own. Saying this is more than Laurie can bear. She steps aside and lets out a wail. Ah!
Did she step on Lego?
Ow! The vampire moves slowly towards you. His watery eyes fixed on yours. Wait! You raise your hand, desperate to say anything to stop his advance.
Say anything.
But what can you do? You know the vampire has almost supernatural power. There's almost no way you can defeat him.
Are we going to see these powers at any point? We keep getting told how powerful they are.
If you try to convince the vampire that you could be more useful to him if he doesn't make you a vampire, turn to page 72. If you fire the last remaining jet on your spacesuit at him, turn to page 17.
Didn't we choose to fight the vampire?
Well,
We chose to
confront him.
confront and
Oh,
outwit the
confront.
vampire.
So we can fight him now, or we can try to keep
fight
talking. Try to keep talking to him, or fight him. You want to fight him?
Let's fight. That's
Take
the
him
whole
on?
reason we came.
All right.
Sure.
I'm still,
Those jets.
I'm still fine with being a vampire.
That
Yeah,
wasn't
if it happens,
As it
I
is-
thought maybe that
As it
was
is well
one of the
established, I'm a traitor to the human race, and I will join any.
Well, we can at least go down fighting, though.
Yeah. All right.
So
Fight
And
we're
him.
I'm really
gonna-
hoping he'll catch the jet, and then we got a Jaws moment where you just pull out your blaster and
Smile,
like,
you
you son of a bitch.
All right. Yeah.
Whoa!
So we're gonna be all boring conversation anyway.
Yes, and
Steve Winters, we're gonna have company. Okay. Steve Winters is your friend who's not there.
Oh, Steve.
You fire the jet, and instantly you're slammed against the wall.
Oh, right. Physics.
Jet is designed for propulsion, not as a weapon. Whether or not it hurt the vampire, you have no way of knowing.
Oh.
For you're knocked cold.
You're what?
You're knocked cold again.
Oh, knocked cold.
It's the
Right.
third time.
You
this been-
keep on
Yeah,
knocking
yeah.
yourself out.
You might have narcolepsy.
Yeah, right.
Hours later, you awaken in the comfortable quarters of the captain's ship.
Oh.
You're stretched out on a sofa, your head propped up on an armrest. Laurie is sitting nearby, looking very strange.
Oh, she's a vampire.
Her eyes, which once were dark brown, are now a watery blue. She's taken the spice.
Oh.
She's changed the water of life.
She put her contacts in.
She looks stronger. Her body seems much more muscular. Turning, you behold the vampire, his skin deathly white, his black hair glistening, a cruel smile on his face, and his steely eyes burn into yours. You jump to your feet and are at once surprised at the strength and power you feel in your body. You look at Laurie. She returns your gaze with a glassy stare.
We're vampires.
Yeah.
You got your wish, Brian?
Yay! Happy ending.
The vampire is smiling. I can see you're feeling better, he says.
Pretty sweet, right?
But you'll soon be getting thirsty. As he speaks, you feel a certain thirst. A strange, unnatural thirst.
Do you have any of that orange flavored vitamin water?
Pardon me, do you have any human blood?
We're headed for the Titan station, the vampire tells you. You'll be glad to know that a new group of colonists just arrived there, each of them containing 2 gallons of blood. The end. Wait.
Yay!
How much blood does the human body contain, resident scientist Stacy Pawloski?
2 gallons.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh.
I
thought it was
Like
less
pints
than
or
that. I
something
thought it
like
was only a couple of pints.
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah.
Look it up on your
Contain a liter of blood?
A liter of blood? What's a liter of
There's
blood?
more than a liter of blood. Because when you
Liter of
donate
blood is French for give me some fucking human blood.
they take a lot of blood out of you when you donate, and you're fine. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
All
right.
right, we're gonna, I guess, look it up.
Well,
Like 16 pints?
5.5
liters. That's 2 gallons. All right. Okay.
Well,
all right, he was on that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's definitely one way that this book
I
could
do
have
like
ended.
the silhouette dancing vampire or whatever.
Oh, yeah. There's a picture of you as a vampire, and you were just having a good time.
Exactly.
You're like, this is not a bad ending.
I'm dreaming of a space
vampire.
Yay. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, you're doing a
fine with that.
moonwalk. Look at you. Like, yeah, you're on, like, you're doing a creep walk and everything. It's great. Like,
Yeah, you're strutting.
yeah, you're doing a space
walking
strut.
on space dust. Yeah.
I'm walking on space.
Oh, we should have had the vampire walk on sunshine. That would have killed him.
it would have. It really would have.
Yeah.
All right, so that is definitely one way that could have ended for us. So do we want to try to get away from the vampire, or do we want to go back a little bit further?
Yeah, I do want to try to find a way to kill this vampire in one of our existences.
So we're going back to when we pushed Laurie into the
Yeah,
thing.
so we're gonna try
yeah,
to
let's
hop
go
away.
back. Let's go back one and see where that takes us.
Seems like we're just fleeing from him. We're not fighting him.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
there are alternatives to fighting.
I want to fight a vampire.
Quick, into the capsule! Laurie obeys, and you're right behind her, slamming the hatch behind you. As if he could move instantaneously, the vampire is on the other side of the hatch,
God damn it.
digging his long nails into the cracks, trying to pry it open. You can't keep him out, Laurie cries.
Oh, Laurie, don't be so negative.
You flick on the computer. Port reverse thrust, minimum power. The capsule swivels like a top. A blast of flaming iron streams out of the forward thrusters. The launch chamber fills with smokes and sparks. The capsule careens into the side of the wall. As the smoke clears, you look around for the vampire. There he is, Laura screams. There he is indeed, just outside your window, applying a laser torch to the hatch. You hit the full power blaster, and your capsule hurtles through the side of the ship, out into space. The vampire is sucked out behind you, but you're losing pressure fast. The capsule was breached by the metal skin of the Petya. There's no hope of survival for you or Laurie. At least, you took the vampire with you.
Oh, there we go.
The end.
He's just in space, frozen.
Yeah, everybody died in that one.
Yeah. But we did stop the vampire. Okay.
A vampire.
A vampire. Yeah,
There's
because
a whole
more.
system of vampires.
Yeah.
There's more.
Yeah.
And they lived on planet 5, so there's probably some other planets.
Going back, when we were turned into a vampire, I'm definitely going and hunting down Rick frickin' Field and giving him a taste of his own damn medicine.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Fight or flee?
Yeah, I like the idea that once you become a vampire, you also adopt that.
That voice.
You immediately
see
come from
what-
space Transylvania.
Yes.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. Well,
How many endings are there in this
Yeah,
book? We've
how
had a
many-
lot so far.
This book has 24
Wow,
endings.
that's
Can we go back to when we went on that other mission?
Yeah.
And we're going to shoot into the sun.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was going to say we
Yes.
could go back to there and then not fall asleep And
Oh,
see if
there's
we can
that
stop
too.
him
Not
that
fall
way.
asleep.
You want to not fall asleep, or do you
Yeah.
want to go towards the sun?
Well, at this rate, we could probably do both.
We can probably do both.
Probably do both.
All the
but
time in
let's
the
make a
galaxy.
choice right now.
Let's say not fall asleep. That was the earliest.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and at the in the first episode of this book, we had decided to just fuck off into space and not worry about the space vampire. And then we were super bored on our mission, and we were like, a little nap won't hurt nobody.
Yeah, we watched all our shows. We were streaming
right.
everything. We saw the new season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and
very
we
good.
had nothing else to do.
Yeah. And so we decided to just take a little nap, but then space vampire got on the ship and killed everybody.
Yeah.
So we're going to actually go back and see what happens when we don't fall asleep on that initial mission to Barnard's Star that we did from the first episode next week. Turn
Yeah.
the page fun.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Very well. Very well.
Thank you all so much to Brian and Stacy and Ron. Hey, Ron, what's going on with you here in January?
Not a whole lot. Sketch 22 is happening
January
that's always-
18th,
Yeah.
and you will be writing for that.
I write
yes?
for it. Yes.
Right.
So that'll be right after this episode, actually.
Possibly, yes. I have not been paying attention to my calendar on that.
Schedule.
But yes, Sketch 22, for those of you who don't know, is a local sketch comedy play in a day where comedians and writers get together and write 10 sketches
And 2 songs.
and 2
Yeah,
songs
there's songs too.
in the course of, and perform them in the course of 24 hours.
Yes.
It's a really, really great way to see all the local sketch performing, and comedy talent in Milwaukee. And all the proceeds do go to a local charity. So it's for a great, great cause. Ron, you said you were going to be writing for that?
Yes.
All right.
Writing with you.
Yes, writing with me. Stacy, what are you up to?
Also, we'll also be writing with Sketch 22. Me and Eric have written together for several in a row, and we seem to have pretty good luck.
Okay.
And I also will be acting in it.
Yeah. Oh, yes, because Sketch 22 is an unofficial competition among everybody to see who is the best comedian and writer in Milwaukee.
It's kind of just to see who doesn't suck the worst, because
That's a
it's hard in 22 hours,
It
and
is
somebody's
difficult.
going to like fall on their face.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Is
Yep.
like if you like watching people,
But we're right there
fail.
with you. Like,
No, because it's so
it's a
supportive.
fun way to
because you
fail.
know
It is.
It is.
It is a
I mean,
fun
I
way to fail.
personally, I'm just like, fuck, I don't know my lines. You know, like,
keep moving.
and just keep going.
Yep,
It's a great
yep.
time.
I, for one, have never failed a Sketch 22.
Failed. I definitely have.
And finally, Brian, what else is going on in January?
Well, the Ampersand Theater grand opening, I will plug that again on January 17th. So I guess the night before, that would be. And then I think that's about it. Check out No Dice on Twitch every Monday night at 7:30. It's improvised Dungeons and Dragons style role playing, but there is no dice, just a coin flip. And you at home get to help us choose the adventure.
Right.
You can also watch that on YouTube and as a podcast that comes out Fridays, I think. If you missed it that week.
But the easiest way to get to check out No Dice is at sexyhackers.tv.
Yes.
In fact, that's the easiest way to get all of the products that Sexy Hackers produces for everybody here, including our show and Who Let Me Read This and the All Arcadians. All four of those projects are easily found if you go to sexyhackers.tv. So go ahead and go there, follow and subscribe and like us and all that good stuff, and you'll get a lot of really, really quality local Milwaukee content. Also, big thanks to Sexy Hackers for giving us this wonderful studio to do our stuff. They make great t-shirts. They are so comfortable and efficacious. Give them they make great gifts. They
Got this
if you
bomber jacket I'm really digging too.
Yeah, that's a nice
it's
jacket.
a nice jacket. For those of you just listening, Brian is wearing a nice jacket.
That's right.
Enough said.
If you do go to sexyhackers.com to get a t-shirt, go ahead and put in the promo code FUN. That's FUN for fun. Put in the promo code FUN and you get 20% off all your purchases. And that's a great deal just for listening to us. Thank you to Jason for being our engineer today. He did an so great job making us not sound stupid. That is our job. And thank you so much to Brian and Stacy and Ron. And most importantly, thank you for being you, listening to us read to you. And with that, I'm going to say I'll see you next time. Through your ears.
SexyHackers.com Stream Team!